Alright guys, so today we're going to be reacting to the new, not Dangerville, Goji Center video. What if UTAHRAPTOR was in Jurassic World? Real excited to see what this entails.
The span of cinema history has been synonymous with fear, death, and carnage. But amongst the many types of raptors seen in the Jurassic franchise, absolutely none of these compares to the monstrous killing machine we will introduce today, whose big screen appearance might overshadow the rest of these animals and put them all to shame. Today on Goji Center, the geneticists of the Jurassic World universe will foolishly play God again, and we'll find out what would happen if this predator is let loose, what it would look like, and if it would fit in the roster of the already dangerous predators. Coming up, UTAHRAPTOR Jurassic Park Edition. This episode is divided into 4 parts. First, discussing what this fella would look like if it was in a Jurassic film.
Yo, that size comparison between like the Jurassic Park, the like Velociraptor Deinonychus thing, and like a
would compare in size against the other animals in this franchise, followed by how it would hunt, and a special surprise section in the end. You won't want to miss this one. First things first, let's clear up a misconception a lot of people have had since 1993.
Like, see, that's Deinonychus. Like, wait, rewind back to... Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh.
Followed by how it would hunt.
Like, in Jurassic Park, like, they called the Velociraptor Deinonychus. But,
first things
I mean, they call Deinonychus Velociraptor. See, that's how, like, tall, like, Deinonychus would be there. But like, UTAHRAPTOR would be, like, up here. They're, like, they like, probably bump their head trying to get in the door.
Let's clear up a misconception a lot of people have had since 1993. Because the real Velociraptor was much smaller than the movie monsters running around with that name slapped on them, a lot of commentators mistakenly thought that these things, and in the novel, were indeed UTAHRAPTORs. So we've assembled a bit of a visual aid to show the difference.
Like 96, bro.
This one is the big one from Jurassic Park, and this is next to a big UTAHRAPTOR. Still think this little fella is a UTAHRAPTOR? The story of how the Jurassic Velociraptors wound up this large is a long one, but long story short, UTAHRAPTOR simply wasn't known at the time Michael Crichton wrote the novel, or when Spielberg was in production. Scientists knew some monster raptor was out there, but the genus wasn't officially unveiled and named until the movie was effectively done. Instead, both the novel and film raptors were modeled after Deinonychus, which was the largest raptor known at the time. But even using the maximum size for Deinonychus, InGen slashers are dwarf.
Y'all, we need to stop the Deinonychus misinformation. Deinonychus was about like 5, like it was like about like a 4 foot either like it was like 4'6" at average, and like the biggest one was like 5 feet tall. We need to stop the misinformation saying it was like most of them were like 3 feet or 4 feet tall. Like, bro, it is actually wild.
By their bigger cousins. And since the 90s, not only has newer details shown that the UTAHRAPTOR was unlike any other, but that it was even bigger than initially thought. Using what is known about the real-life creature and giving it the Jurassic treatment this series usually gives other animals, like the Giganotosaurus, Allosaurus, Tarbosaurus, animals who differ greatly from their real-life counterparts. Here's
that Tarbosaurus is actually crazy. Like, Tarbosaurus
might look like if it ever appears in Jurassic. Note that this animal still has the scaly, reptilian look of the other raptors in this series, but since Jurassic is now more or less inclined to adopting feathery attributes to their new dino additions, a feathered
which I'm not like, because like the whole thing about Jurassic Park is like, oh, they're like half dinosaur, half frog, so they don't have feathers. In fact, like, I did like a whole entire Jurassic Park series back like before, like years before I was a YouTuber. I did like a whole Jurassic, I just like drew like almost like every Jurassic Park dino, and I just conjured up new designs. None of them had feathers, bro. If I needed to have feathers for aesthetic, I would just replace them with spikes, bro. They would not have had feathers.
Not too far-fetched for a Jurassic Park rendition of this animal.
Yo, what the skibbity Sigma? Yo, who the Sigma does Lego play?
Raptor is now not too far-fetched for a Jurassic Park rendition of this animal.
Yo, that UTAHRAPtor is
Theropods in the
actually
Jurassic
sick.
franchise tend to have longer legs and a somewhat more raised stance than their real-life counterparts.
Ooh, yeah, that's
and
sick.
to really sell that these are a brand new type of raptor, all of the traits that made UTAHRAPtor unique will have to be exaggerated. Blade-like hooked claws on the hands, much larger in size, and better at slashing than the real-life UTAHRAPtor.
Oh, that's sick, bro.
Heavy serrated fangs with a
Bro,
distinctive curve in the
he's
jaw
so
front
awesome
near
that
long, all on a stocky, powerful frame. This beast could crush a man's skull between its jaws, impale right through the chest of a dilate with its...
I don't know why I thought he was gonna say thighs, and I was gonna be like, "Hey, yo." I feel like that is some serious brain rot, bro.
Claws or
I
shred
have
a
some
bigger
serious brain
dinosaur's
rot that
throat
I
with its hands
actually
and
thought
jaws.
that would happen.
And just how big would these beasts get? In a word, huge.
But yeah, of course
Up
his jaws.
next, size. The Jurassic series already tends to use the biggest possible sizes for a lot of its dinosaurs, with some exceptions. During production of the first film,
But the Dilophosaurus was actually wimpy, bro. Like, real life Dilophosaurus was like, you know, the raptor was that big. Real life Dilophosaurus would have been like up to here.
Fictional monster of a huge Deinonychus, until paleo consultant Dr. Backer assured them that something big was coming, and at the time did not even realize how big that something was going to be.
But they actually say
If
Deinonychus,
we
I'm gonna say a
modify this UTAHRAPtor
Dilophosaurus.
to our Jurassic
Sigma?
series parameters, an adult UTAHRAPtor could stand over 8 feet tall and be upwards of 20 feet in length.
Ooh, that
And
is
this isn't just a
that is
scaled-up
Sigma. That is
velociraptor with a new
Sigma.
coat of paint. UTAHRAPtor was far more robust than any other raptor known, on top of already being the largest and weighing nearly double the initial estimates. The largest UTAHRAPtor known already had a femur over half a meter long.
That
This
is
was
crazy.
very likely not the maximum for its species. Using volumetric
I
analysis
just
to
woke
get
up,
an
by the
estimate
way.
of our movie
Haven't
monster,
even
the
eaten.
Jurassic
That
UTAHRAPtor
is
would wind up
actually
breaking the
because I didn't
scales
get
at
on
over
Rise
half a
and
ton,
grind
or much
me.
higher. This means that this gut ripper of death could weigh between 3 to 5 times more than the big one or Blue. And if you thought that these little guys still have an edge over the UTAHRAPtor in terms of intelligence, guess again.
This is
Nature
getting
already
me more hyped
answered
for
that
Jurassic
question
World
over
Rebirth. This
100
probably
million years ago.
this
How, you may ask?
definitely
Pack
isn't in
hunting.
Jurassic World
Now,
Rebirth,
the act of
but
pack
it's just
hunting
getting
was
me more
actually
hyped
a
for it.
prime reason why raptors became widely known in pop culture. But new evidence and research suggests social hunting was far rarer in raptors than once thought. The truth is, a majority of raptor species, or dromaeosaurs, were mesopredators, more or less. Mid-tier predators. Examples of
Who
animals
else learned
functioning
that
very
from like the Minute Earth channel when they were like 7 years old, bro?
much like Velociraptor today would
The Rise of the
include bobcats and
Mesopredator. I'm gonna have to
coyotes,
play that for you
carnivores that
guys.
excel at hunting small animals up
Actually,
to
no, just
double
look
their
up Rise
weight.
of the Mesopredator.
Some
I'm
occasionally hunt in
not
packs,
trying to get
but they aren't built
copyright
to kill large
strike like
game.
September.
They lack the equipment to do damage to a large animal, and are so small that they risk
Because
catastrophic
September
injury
got
from a
a
retaliation
strike
from a
from
much
the
heavier
Middle
animal.
East.
Simply put, a gang of foxes attacking a buffalo would be suicidal, so a group of similar raptors wouldn't either. Believe it or not, this pack hunting behavior would be more common amongst the larger apex predators, as it is proven by modern evidence
that would
and
be
the fossil
sick.
record. Think about wolves, spotted hyenas, lions, and the orca. All of them are some of the biggest predators in their respective ecosystems, big enough to do damage to the giant herbivores that outsize them individually. Those bones
Yo, what
with
about
raptor
tigers though?
tooth marks
Tigers
may
are
have been
completely
more likely
solitary,
evidence of
so you
scavenging
can't beat that,
events,
huh? You
much
can't
like
beat
how
this
many
like
times
that.
small carnivores might take advantage of a kill after the apex predator is done eating.
That's the second time I use this
UTAHRAPtor
joke
was a
in this
completely
video.
different beast. Not only being one of, if not the biggest carnivore in its time and region, but also hunting ankylosaurs, iguanodonts, and young sauropods.
Yo, how do you want an
Initial
ankylosaur, bro?
discoverers of UTAHRAPtor also thought
Like, not
pack
just
hunting made
ankylosaurus, like,
sense.
Ankylosaurus has, like, that club that can, like, break your leg. Like, just, like, the regular, like, other Ankylosaur, like, Edmontonia or whatever that was. Bro, you still have to, like, figure out a way to, like, bite it under. I mean, do you flip it over, mend it over? Hey, yo! You know what I mean, right?
So, in Jurassic, well, we might end up having a slasher movie featuring the feathered horror as the main villain. Much better trained,
Yo, what is
lethal,
this
cunning
from?
creatures than their smaller
Is this from that
counterparts.
Kyoryu game?
Raised by
I
their
need to like
parents
check
and
out
being
that.
more instinctly cooperative with each other, not squabbling or fighting one another in pointless dominance disputes. Stalking and ripping humans apart with their strong limbs, high agility, and potential climbing ability to attack from above. Climbing trees or going inside
Yo, that'd
buildings
be
will
awesome,
no
bro.
longer mean you're safe. After it's blatantly clear that humans would be absolutely demolished by this new addition to the franchise, how does the UTAHRAPTOR rank among the other raptors in this series? Raptor meets raptor. So, what would happen
Yo,
if our
that'd be sick.
UTAHRAPTORs bumped into the Velosa, Atrosa, or Pyroraptors? Would they try to team
But they're
up?
all
Would
getting
they duel?
cooked.
Well,
They're getting
nature could
sizzled and
provide a pretty grisly
fried.
answer. In the present day, apex predators are often the #1 cause of death for some types of small carnivores. This is because those at the top of the food chain don't start out that way. The smaller predators might go out of their way to try and kill the offspring of apex predators to take them out before they grow to full size. So, the apex predators often have two responses to detecting the carnivores the next
Yo, what was that
size
Five
tier
Nights at
down.
Freddy's
Search
glitch
and
on the
destroy.
lion?
That's right. In the UTAHRAPTOR's home range of the Cedar Mountain Formation were also other species of raptors, not that much smaller than the ones seen in the Jurassic series. On just
Like
pure
also a
instinct,
Venator or
UTAHRAPTOR would
Ultraraptor,
instantly
whatever it's
register
called.
the smaller raptors as a threat and competitor, attacking them on sight and eliminating problems later on. With a massive
Yo, that
weight
size
limit
difference
and
is crazy,
stronger
bro.
jaws that could smash right through their bodies, the smaller raptors wouldn't stand a chance against the genius bruisers. The likes of Velociraptor, Atrociraptor, and Pyroraptor would have no choice but to run for their lives. Those stupid enough to fight back end up stabbed, rended,
But
and
who's fighting
crushed.
a
Make no
UTAHRAPtor
mistake,
except
if
for
nature shows us
either another
anything, it's
UTAHRAPtor or like
that
a
those who
T-Rex or
fight back
something?
against stronger odds only find themselves on another creature's
The
menu.
Tyrannosaurus.
But how would nature's ultimate raptor fare against mankind's own ultimate raptor?
What in the Sigma? No, so wait, Pokemon Masters EX? More like Pokemon Masters. Hey, yo!
But how would nature's ultimate raptor fare against mankind's own ultimate raptor? The Indoraptor.
Ooh, I
For a
forgot
quick
about this
recap, let
dude.
us remind you that the Indoraptor is
No,
not
so
that
I
much
know you
bigger
could.
than one
I know you're gonna
fully
say,
grown Utahhraptor. Going off
Spider,
most of the official
Spider fan.
stats,
How are you gonna
the
forget
Indoraptor is
about
somewhat heavier and
the
more
toy that you
durable,
literally
but
have
that
in
might
your
just
room?
buy you time
I
instead of a
literally don't
sure
know.
victory. Performance-wise,
No, so
Hybrid
that's like my
admittedly
new
had some
nickname, like
major
how
kinks
Laugh's
to work
ability is
out.
called Laugh.
Its maniac nature and
You can
awkward
just call me
posture
Spider
did not
fan.
impede it much in the task it was meant to do, kill humans. And it likely would have performed well against even larger berserk predators like we've previously analyzed on this channel.
Ooh,
But
that'd be
consider
sick.
that the hybrid struggled handily against a mad Velociraptor, a
Yo,
fraction
what
of its
the
weight,
Sigma?
who had just gone through surgery and a blood transfusion. This time, the Indoraptor
I feel
would
like
not only
brain rot
face
is
one,
just
but
like a
at least
symbiote that
few
just
of
like
these
attaches to you.
UTAHRAPTors. Its tough
Like an
hide
absolute
does
sleep
protect it
on it.
from gunfire, but if it works anything like Kevlar, cutting, stabbing, and crushing injuries from an especially large
Escaping
UTAHRAPtor
is
may
impossible.
prove
I latched
troublesome.
onto you,
It would be
like
a
a parasite, and I
ferocious
probably
fight,
ruined
and a
you. From
UTAHRAPtor may
your
be fatally
parasite from your
injured.
father's
But
years.
against the well-coordinated
I'm just
attacks
gonna
from
kill you.
many
It's
well-armed super raptors,
responsible
the
for your
chances of this
idiotic bullshit.
Indoraptor surviving
I'm
are very, very low. A
you
solid
more
pack
over
of at
that.
least 4 to 5
Eddie Brock is you,
UTAHRAPtors
and
may
not the suit.
prove a
So call
sufficient
me
menace to establish themselves as the most dangerous force in the
Wait,
entire
before you have your
series.
strike.
Even the thick hides of the T-Rex and Spinosaurus would be cut into and rendered, especially since the hide of Rexy was left with
Actually, no,
decades-old
I know
scars from
Eminem is
just
chill
one
like that, but like,
Velociraptor less than a
I know
third
like
of the
some
weight of
people
one of
are like
these UTAHRAPTors.
trying to
Now that we
speak
know
for
the
Eminem.
true
Like,
power of
I'm
these
actually like, bro,
beasts,
shut up.
it's
He's a
only
cool
a
guy. He
matter
would
of
not do
time
that in
until
real
the
life
Jurassic
in
series
Ohio
shows
in
us what the
Stupid Toilet.
greatest of the raptors could do.
Yeah, what did he say, bro?
These would be cut into and rendered,
I was yapping.
especially since the hide of Rexy was left with decades-old skin. Of this Indoraptor surviving are very, very low. A solid pack of at least 4 to 5 UTAHRAPtors
Indoraptor,
may
that's
prove a
crazy.
sufficient menace to
It's awesome.
establish themselves as the most dangerous force in the entire series. Even the thick hides of the T-Rex and Spinosaurus would be cut into and rendered, especially since
Bro!
Rexy was left with decades.
Oh wait, I forgot this isn't the real life T-Rex. The real life Indoraptor is the
Now that we know the
Jurassic
true
Park
power of
T-Rex.
these beasts,
Yo, that's
it's
so
only a
wild,
matter
bro.
of time until the
But like,
Jurassic
wait,
series
didn't we
shows
find that like the real T-Rex was like 2 or 3 times bigger than like the Jurassic Park T-Rex? And then there was like a new species that was like a teeny bit smaller than the Jurassic Park T-Rex, and we called it Tyrannosaurus macrariensis or something like that. I just shortened it to M-Rex. That's how I do it. But it's really called Tyrannosaurus macrariensis or whatever. But I call it M-Rex.
that's what the greatest of the raptors could do.
Yo, so that was pretty sick. Shout out to Danger though. I'm already subscribed to them and I already liked the video. And also I might also react to the Jurassic Rebirth trailer, and then I might watch the explained version. Alright guys, so like, subscribe, and peace out.